This is AI Command App news for Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. 5 stories moving business, markets, and the AI economy today. First, Apple is committing more than $30 billion to Broadcom in a U.S. chip-making agreement, the largest American manufacturing commitment in Apple's history, according to CNBC. The deal includes a $1.5 billion investment directly into Broadcom's U.S. facility. This is Apple hedging its silicon supply chain against geopolitical shock, and it lands as a major win for the onshoring push. But here's the twist. The Financial Times reports Apple has also begun testing DRAM chips from China's CXMT for devices sold inside China. So Apple isn't picking a side, it's building 2 supply chains at once. For investors, that's a structural signal. The semiconductor world is bifurcating, and companies exposed to both blocks will need capital plans to match. Broadcom shareholders got the headline. Memory suppliers everywhere got the warning. Second, markets. President Trump declared the U.S.-Iran ceasefire over after attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and CENTCOM confirmed the U.S. has resumed strikes. Washington also revoked Iran's oil sales authorization. The reaction was immediate. Dow futures tumbled, oil prices soared, and Bitcoin slipped. Layer on the tech-specific pain, Micron and SanDisk kept sliding, with MarketWatch reporting investors now openly asking whether the memory market is near a top. One analyst called it a skittish AI tape, but it's not one-directional. Fundstrat's Tom Lee says he's buying the dip, and Alibaba jumped nearly 10%, leading a broad China AI rally. The read for business leaders: energy risk is back as a line item, and the AI trade is rotating, not dying. Third, AI just became fully geopolitical. CNBC reports OpenAI will publicly release its GPT-5.6 models, ending limits that had been requested by the government. Its chief rival Anthropic only recently restored access to its own latest models after a weeks-long clash with Washington. And on the other side of the Pacific, China issued a security warning claiming specific versions of Anthropic's Claude code contained backdoor vulnerabilities that could send sensitive data to remote servers. Whatever the merits of each claim, the pattern is unmistakable. Governments can now switch model access on and off, and they're doing it. If your company's operations depend on a single frontier model from a single jurisdiction, that's no longer a technology decision, it's a geopolitical exposure. Fourth, the capital hunger of the AI era. Amazon is raising at least $25 billion in a bond sale, its latest debt raise to bankroll massive AI infrastructure investments, and says it won't issue more debt in 2026. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin is raising roughly $10 billion at a $130 billion valuation, its first outside capital ever. And Rivian priced a 75 million share offering to raise $1.2 billion, sending its stock down 18%, its worst rout in nearly 2 years. The lesson: cash-rich giants fund the AI build-out with cheap debt, while cash-poor players pay for it in dilution. The cost of capital is now a competitive moat. And fifth, Anthropic launched Claude Cowork on mobile and web, the first time its agentic work platform has left the desktop. Per TechCrunch, users can start a task at their desk, get status updates on their phone, and pick up the finished output later, even with the laptop closed. Rollout begins with Mac subscribers. This is the quiet story with the loudest long-term implication. AI work is going asynchronous and ambient. The knowledge worker's job is shifting from doing tasks to dispatching and reviewing them, and every enterprise software vendor will be forced to follow. The throughline today: ownership and access. Apple is buying supply chain ownership, governments are gatekeeping model access, and the winners are the ones who control their own infrastructure, in chips, in capital, and in AI. That's your AI news for today from AI Command App.